gonna be you.
Let's go.
Welcome back to Giggles and Gains. So I've got Lucy with me today. I'm not going to lie, I'm just going to be really, really honest. We've definitely shot 3 episodes in different locations because it makes you think like we've met up like 3 times. But she lives in Liverpool and Dubai, so that's just not going to happen.
We just want a different backdrop.
We just want a different backdrop. So next time we're going to go for the gym in the garden in the background. So David's just working out how he's going to set his logistics up. He's going to turn his cameras around. It's going to look amazing. So we wanted to record 3 separate episodes, and the reason we really wanted to do that was because we wanted to share more of an insight into like our personal lives, some of our views on like fat loss and the fitness industry, and then we wanted to use our 3rd episode to talk through. Both of us have recently done a confidence shoot, and if you follow me on Instagram, you know I have not stopped crying for the whole of last week because it was so overwhelming. But in this first episode, what I want to do is I want to chat through a little bit more about us. I want to grill Lucy on some of her life decisions
Spontaneous
and find out
ones.
more. So yeah, definitely. So I guess we kind of did a brief intro for our first episode, but that's now going to be our 2nd episode. So if you could literally introduce yourself. So yeah, over to you.
So first things first, guys, my name is Lucy, as you all know. So I'm the face behind CBL, Coached by Luce. And what we do is we help women basically see the fat loss phase through sustainable methods. And I used to be a one-to-one floor PT years and years ago. And it was actually funny, when I was speaking to you then about when it was that you developed your online business, because I think for me, things started to shift when I become a mum, but mostly I started developing my business. I think it was about 2 years ago now, my online business, but just watching how it changes over time, and even just watching how your business has changed over time as well, and obviously how many women we help, and you know, obviously what we bring to our coaching as well is amazing. Sorry, I forgot what you even said there, Katie. I'm just thinking to myself, I can't believe I've come out in this heat. I had to lend your sunglasses, and I've got bloody long socks on and bloody pants. So I think for me, I've had a lot of transitions over the last couple of years. Obviously, I've had a baby, I've went online, I've moved abroad. Like, things have been, you know, I've had to cancel the wedding in COVID. There's been all sorts cropping out, like, you know, little things I've been having to dodge along the way.
Okay, so first, tell me, and I guess I haven't really spoken about this, so we could probably do it both ways. Tell me more about why you transitioned from, why did you get into PT, and then why did you transition to online?
So I got into PT, right, because in school I was always somebody that just couldn't focus on anything. I was always a sporty kid. I was always doing extracurricular activities, and I actually done taekwondo, and people don't know this about me, but I'm a black tag in taekwondo.
Really?
Yeah, and I got it when I was like 14 or 15. So I'm a very high energetic person. So for me, being in school, it just didn't sit right with me. And my mum and dad as well, like, they've always been, God love them, they've always threw tutors at me, you know, tutor. And I was always someone that just couldn't focus in school.
Oh my God, that is literally the same as me.
And not even that, you know, when you like got a sibling who's just that smart, and you're just like,
yeah, absolutely.
And you're just so book smart. And it's like, it's so hard because you feel like you need to, like, I get to see my mum and dad cry with happiness, Lily, get a B, and they'd be like, what the fuck's going on? Why didn't you got an A?
Oh my God, so I literally was so similar to you. I was diagnosed with being dyslexic. And I definitely wear it as a label too much. I need to get a handle on that. But through school, I was like doing the extra English classes when the other kids were allowed to do a second language because I couldn't even get fucking English right.
Yeah, it's massive.
And then the next part of that was I had, same as you, I had a tutor called Frida. I was talking to Derek's daughter about her earlier, last night actually. And like, she helped me loads. And I was the kid. So I was a bit of a loser at school. Like, I was playing with my horses when
that's lovely, Casey.
When like everybody else was going out drinking, I was like doing down the garden doing my horses. And then it got to GCSEs, and I'm like, I bet you were more rebellious than me. I was a geek. So I'm like sat there studying from like February just to try and get some B's and C's. And then I did mortgage exams because I am a qualified mortgage advisor. I did my mortgage exams.
I didn't know you were a qualified mortgage advisor.
Oh, I worked in banking for 10 years.
What?
Yeah, I know. Can you imagine it? Can you imagine?
God, you
fucking
some of the places
pencil skirt, suit, stiletto heels. Yeah. Hi, my name's Katie Higgins. I'm the branch manager.
Oh my God, Katie.
And then like we did the whole like the studying thing, and then I like did it, and I was like just did all that work for like 6 months for like C's and D's. Yeah. And I was the same. And then I did these mortgage exams. I said to Mum, I was like, fucking everybody in the class is just getting it.
I know.
And I just don't get it.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, you're dyslexic. And I was like, well, fucking hell, I'm like 23. Couldn't you have told me that at 16? So I had a bit of a clue why this was so hard. But oh my God, I have to say to my clients, my pronunciation skills are shocking.
You know what though, like I feel like that, because obviously when I was in school, my mum and dad always like, is she got ADHD, has she got this, has she got that? And like, obviously when I was younger, I mean, mum and dad didn't want me to be diagnosed with anything because, again, the labelling. So, like, if you're this, like, schools don't know how to handle things like this for kids, and I think it's only starting to come up the woodwork now, isn't it?
I think they're just so much more aware of, like, of things, like...
Yeah, and I think as well, like, not everyone's suited to sit in a class and work at a desk. Like, I'm none of them people as well. Like, even all the jobs I've had after like, even in uni and stuff like that, like, it's all been things like a desk work, and it just doesn't suit me. Like, even I went to uni, like my mum and dad, they were like, you're going to uni, because I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I was just like...
What did you do at uni?
So I've done international business. So obviously I've kind of stemmed off into business.
Yeah, but it's
helped me. But Katie, you know what though? Everything I've learned from uni has not stemmed off into my business. It's crazy because, and I feel because obviously we've had mentors, haven't we, of how to build a business and how to obviously scale your business and how to just have a successful business and grow. But the thing is, everything changes year on year, and we're working with different things than university taught us, like social media, learning how to adapt with people skills, and I feel like we've naturally just got that. That's why we've done well.
Oh, 100%. Like,
because we've got that
my thing is people. Like, ask me to spell, ask me to write a sentence. That's why we voice note backwards and forwards. And also, like, when I have a message, I'm so direct. I'm like, what do you want for dinner? Like, me and Dale can't message because he'd probably get offended at that. But it is that thing, like, the world's changed. You're a doer, I'm a doer. Like, if you tell me to do something, I can do it. But also, like, when you're coaching somebody, you're like, you're like, you know, if you ever give like video analysis, you do your video analysis, and I'm there like, so what I want you to do before me on voice note, I want you to just stand up for a second, lift your chest up, pull your shoulders down, and brace your core tight. And I'm doing the whole thing, and I'll probably look like an absolute idiot waiting for a sunbed.
Yeah. Literally though. But you know what though, like you've just said before, like, it's mad to think that like I think as well, like with the coaching industry, a lot of people have come from other things that they do and enjoy, and that's why that's why we have done so well at what we do, because it's something that we want to do.
Yeah.
Like, I know for me, like, I had a really, really hard experience growing up, like just knowing who I was, like figuring out my identity. Like, even just like my family telling me to do this, I want to do this, this is not what I align with, I'm not suited to this, and every job I went into, I was shit at.
But I think you get very distracted
I do.
by everything going on.
And not even that, the thing is as well with me, if you tell me to do something that I want to do within, like, for example, the coaching, I've built it up over a year, what people do in 30 years with their own business, because I hyperfixate and I actually want to do it, so I will do it.
Yeah.
Like, for us as well, I feel like with the fitness industry, the only way you're going to be successful is if you love the job, because it is that demanding and it asks such a lot of you.
What made you go from a university business degree to PTing?
So basically with me, right, I basically went to sixth form, didn't get good grades, so my mum was like, right, college. So you have to get, basically, you go to college and you get into university. Done that. You know what, I didn't mind college, it was good, it was more laid back. Went to uni, done a year, dropped out, didn't like it. Went to work.
I did that
on my God.
Sixth form, first day back of sixth form, I was like, Mum, I'm going to go and work with horses. And she was like, oh, are you? I was like, yes, I am. And it was like, I'd just done the whole 6 weeks of summer. I was like, I can't go back there. It's fucking hard.
Not even that. I think as well for me, because my family, they're a working family. So, like, my dad's always worked, my mum's always worked since they were 12. Yeah. You know, I've got a couple of uncles and stuff that have done extremely well who are self-employed. But again, it's a massive jump out of our family's comfort zone to do something like that. So I feel like for me as well, growing up, it was always like, get a job and work your way up.
Yeah.
It was never have your own business or nothing like that. So for me, I obviously had my gap year, worked under an mill, hated every second of it, I cannot work in here. Measuring people's curtains, couldn't do it. So then went back to uni, thought, fuck this, I'm going back to uni, this must be the right path for me. Bearing in mind, I'm obviously training loads, you know, loving the gym. It's me only, I was having like hard problems with my mental health because I was just so confused, you know, didn't know what I wanted to do. And then come out of uni, got a couple of jobs, didn't work out, went to Enterprise Rent-A-Car, realised then, okay, this is it for me now. I need to sort my shit out. I can't stay in this job. Like, I need something different. I need something that I like to do, and I just can't be me. So literally, I'm not messing when I say the only person that believed in me was Junaid, God love him. He literally was like, Lucy, I'll give you the money to start, do a PT business. Everyone was like, oh, don't do it, Lucy. Like, even my family, you know, oh, it's not a safe job. It's, you know, it's self-employed. You know, don't do this. It's, you know, we all know you love sport, but like, what if it's not right for you? I was like, fuck this. I'm not listening to anyone. He supported me. he gave me the money for me qualification. I done it, and you know what?
Do you do one of those do you do the face-to-face or the online one?
I done a face-to-face.
Yeah,
and
I did a face-to-face.
You know what, right?
I was like, I need somebody in the
It's
classroom
mad
telling me
because-
I'm all right.
Yeah, not even that. Not even that. I thought to myself, like, even at that time, people were like, "Oh, you're going to do an online course."
How many years ago was that?
That was like 6 years ago now.
Oh my God, we literally did
Is
our
it?
courses. I think so. I've been, I think I'm 5. So I've been qualified for 5 years now. So I would have been a year after you, but similar sort of situation.
But the thing is as well, people say like, oh, you don't learn on them courses, but you already know things anyway because you're passionate about it and you learn yourself. Like,
Yeah.
this is the thing as well, I say to people, like, I honestly feel like this person's level this. You learn from experience with your career.
Your PT qualification is the piece of paper you need, like your driving test.
Exactly.
It helps you. How did you get on with all the Latin names of muscles and bones?
Oh,
So
you know what?
I had post-it notes all over the whole house. I was like, I can't cope
And
with
not
this.
having to, absorb all that information in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, literally.
But the thing is as well, I always say, even to Lauren and Izzy, and we've got another coach coming on board soon, who we're training up. Like, obviously, our new coach that's coming on, she's basically saying, like, how we're going to learn all this. And I'm saying, listen, trust me, you're going to learn from experience because we're going to be sending you things. You know, you're going to be shadowing us. You're going to learn faster from experience. Even Lauren, for example, Lauren's been with me for 5 years. But when I say she'd done a course, she learned, the general stuff. She's learned and she's been able to develop world-class results from experience in the last
100%.
year. Do you know what I mean? It's because, again, she's just a sponge. She absorbs everything, but she learns on the job.
Yeah.
So I always say as well, because we've got, obviously, we've got Katie coming on as well, one of our girls, who's going to be our new coach, that you will learn from experience. You will learn as well from what clients are doing right, what they're not doing right, how to help them, how to, just even the small little things that you learn along your own journey is what you're going to take with you. And that's what I say as well.
So what did you do when you were PTing then?
So I worked in Pure Gym, and don't get me wrong, I loved it. I honestly loved PTing. As well with me, I love like helping people. Like, that's something I've always known that I wanted to do, because I thought I either want to go into something with charity-based, helping people, or like coaching, because my uncle, he works with charity as well and things, and I've always wanted to do something along that line. So when I started the PTing, I was literally working endless hours in the gym. Like, no one had seen me, but you know what, I was happy. I loved it. I was so happy, I loved it. But the thing with me is, I actually thought, obviously COVID changed everything, but when I started doing online coaching in COVID, I realised that, okay, the people I'm coaching on the gym floor, I'm only seeing 2 hours a week. I'm not able to give them all the time in the world from helping them with the things that they actually need help with. The nutrition, the knowledge behind how to achieve a result. Not only that, a lot of the people were not sustaining the results because they felt like they had to have me there in the gym. When for me, my main thing is I want to help people increase their confidence levels. But how am I doing that if I feel like...
I've literally just had so many calls, discovery calls this week, where I've spoken to ladies who want face-to-face PT, but the other thing that they really want is
confidence and sustainability. But that's
you cannot
Katie,
get
how can
sustainability from PT. Like, I've done it for 5 years.
Same.
I know. Like,
and people know as well. People know because they've done a PT before and it hasn't worked out for them.
Yeah.
So the thing is as well, my issue was, I'm showing up with you for 2 hours a week. There's 168 hours of the week.
Yeah.
Who's going to keep you accountable for them hours that you actually need help with? You don't need help with showing up on the gym floor. You can do that yourself. But with one-to-one PT, and I felt when I was working on the floor, is I was keeping them in a box when I didn't want to do that. I want to help people grow. So the thing is, what has changed was obviously COVID for me. Changed everything. We developed an online coaching structure that was helping people actually achieve results from them learning, working with us, but essentially doing it themselves. And people don't realise the confidence doesn't come from getting the result. It comes from the process of the result. You learn that, I can do the things that I didn't think I was capable of, showing up on the gym floor, getting stronger, learning how to execute training, banking calories, having a balance on the weekends, going out with friends and still losing weight and still leaning up and still getting the results that you want and loving life at the same time. So that's where the confidence comes from. You thinking that you couldn't do it and then you actually going through that process and doing it yourself with the coach helping you.
Oh, massively.
That's the difference.
Massively.
It was one-to-one and online.
And then the other side of it is, how can you possibly have sustainability if the only way that you're happy to work out is somebody there holding your hand the entire time?
100%.
Like, when you're doing one-to-one PT, you're there for that 1 hour a week and that is it. And then for the rest of the week, it's like, that's what you have to do. And your results aren't defined by that 1 hour a week. They're defined by the other, 168 hours?
168 hours
and
a week.
What you're putting in your mouth and the habits that you're building along the way, the movement
the thoughts
that you're doing.
The thoughts that you're having.
Yeah, the lifestyle coaching that goes alongside it. Like, without those things, your transformation journey and your results are going to take longer to achieve.
100%.
They're going to be less sustainable. When I go on holiday because I'm going to go on holiday, you're not going to have your PT there anyway. So what happens? You're going to go to the gym? No, because you don't feel confident in the gym because you rely on your PT
Exactly.
to do your sessions.
Not even that. The thing is, right, people always say as well with online coaching, they look at it as a price and like, oh, it's expensive. Well, I can do one-to-one. It's like, no you're not seeing you're not seeing the online coaching as an actual service. Like, this is a service that's going to help you become the best version of you. Whereas people say, oh, well, a time's more valuable. Well, in reality, your own time's more valuable. So realistically,
David just threw a ball down the garden and it went left at the shed by 2 metres.
disturbing the podcast, David. What are you eating, Sinead? Oh, nice choice. No, thanks.
The other thing with like online and PT, you will happily go and spend £35 a session twice a week, so £70 a week on having a personal trainer, but you've got a gripe with spending £50 a week on online. But the difference that you are going to make from online and PT, and you're speaking to both of us have experience. Are your results better online or PT?
Oh my God, literally right. That's the thing as well, like, you can't control what people are doing, so you're messaging them like, is your food okay, like, what are you doing? But it's like, you physically can't give that time. If you're working 60, 70 hours PT in the gym a week, how are you giving that time that people need? Because in reality, you know what forms a good result is the back and forth with the client every single day.
And you can have those conversations in the session, but they're not to the same extent that you're going to have them through your coaching, your chat conversations, your voice notes, your
100%.
review calls,
not even
because
that,
you're getting actual coaching there.
Not even that, right? I find as well a lot of people that go through one-to-one coaching, they don't know why they're doing what. So there's no knowledge within, they just know that they need to turn up, they need to do this amount of reps, they don't know why, they don't know anything about the nutrition, and in reality the results are slower over time because they're probably not eating the right food. Not even that, people say about money with PT and online coaching, you spend so much more money in the long run, and time, on one-to-one coaching, and that is a fact.
And
because
you're going to take longer to get your result.
Not even that, the headspace, I always think as well, like, people who do one-to-one, they come to us and they're so confused, like, what do I eat? Well, I think I need to be restrictive. You know, I'm doing 2 hours a week with a coach, but I'm not seeing the result. And that's because, you're not monitoring for the other X amount of hours in the week.
Because your PT can't go into your MyFitnessPal because they are working 14 hours back-to-back with clients. Okay, so that's the reason you switched from PT to online.
Yes, and the thing is as well, what I found as well is I wanted to change people's perception and mindset about things. The thing is as well, when I started out in the industry, it was years ago when I was young, I had a negative mindset on food and training. I would train every day. I even, like, you know, if I didn't have nothing to do, I'd go back twice a day and I'd train, and I'd just be so negative. My thought on food was negative, everything was negative.
You need to go to the gym to burn calories,
yeah.
you need to go to the gym to burn what I've just eaten.
Katie, I remember, right, when I was young, I remember it was the summer, and I was like 16, 17, and I'd sit on my mum's chair in the garden, and I'd do thousands of sit-ups and crunches. I'd just be sitting here like this, doing them. And, like, I remember, like, I used to turn things down all the time with friends because I felt like I had to earn it. I had to earn going out with my friends if I hadn't done X amount, and it was such a negative look on food, on training, and I know so many people do that and go through life like that, and it's horrible.
But I think that's what makes us good coaches, is because we've been through those experiences. Like,
so we can
I've
relate to
spoke
people.
openly about, like, my history of eating disorders and body dysmorphia, and I don't want to go into it, it's in a previous pod, but like, those experiences mean that I understand and can relate to my clients to know how to put the things in place to better themselves.
Exactly.
Okay.
Can I say one last thing?
Yeah,
on
go
there?
for it.
Right, not even that, right, most people unfortunately now have problems with nutrition. Like, a lot of things do stem from nutrition. So how is a one-to-one coach on the floor if you have an eating disorder or you have no knowledge on food? How is that going to help you? And that's the thing, like, you're going to a coach to help solve something that they don't offer. So it's like, it is hard. And I think as well, like, when people pick services, they need to really think about, okay, well, what is it that what I want? If it's confidence, and if it's to get a great relationship with food, and it's, you know, to become a better version of myself and actually have the independence to do things myself, that's not going to come from a one-to-one service, because that offers one thing.
I am going to throw a curveball as well in here, because I speak to so many girls, coaches as well, who have just literally gone through their qualification and they're like 20, and that's not me criticising them at all, but part of doing what we do is because we have the life experience to do it. And actually, when you've just literally got qualified and started, I think you do need to go through a journey. You do need to be a PT.
100%.
You do need to go through that, because like, I know so many people who are now coaches who've never ever been fucking coached. I've had coaches like my entire life, through therapy, through business, through training, and I know how I want to be coached, and that's how the service I deliver to my clients is, because I know that I want a direct, professional, efficient coaching service, because I want that gets me the best results, and that's what I want my clients to have.
Not even that, 100%. You've just said everything. Like, not even that. Like, even my mum and dad, right? They say to me, like, why are you getting a coach? And I'm like, I don't want to listen to people who aren't going to essentially benefit what I want, who I want to become. The thing is as well, people don't see the value in coaching. That's the be all and end all. Like, people don't see the value, but the minute you start investing in yourself, right, will be the minute you start becoming a better version of you. Even me, I have literally an online coach, I have a business coach, and I also have a therapy coach to help me, like, with my mindset. So the thing is, I will look twice at, like, buying something expensive on the shop floor, because I know that, and my value lies in my education and my knowledge. So, like, you know, someone can literally cram 20 years of experience into me in a year, you know, knowledge, because I'm paying for that service. So it's like, for me to become the best version of me, I know I have to invest in me. It's like people, like, if they want the best version of themselves, you have to invest, and there's no dodging that process, because, like we've just spoke about before, if you look online, it's not helping anybody. If anything, it's making it worse. If you look on the internet and look at social media, where the fuck do you start with everything? Because you know, nothing is clear, is it?
Yeah, for sure.
And it is hard for people, I think, as well, to realise what they want. But in reality, you know, if you invest in something that aligns with you, you are going to get the result that you want.
Let's talk about other investments that you've made.
Go on.
Jumped across the sea to Dubai. When did you do that, and why did you do that?
So literally, we wanted to go to Dubai for ages. It was literally our first holiday when we first got together, me and Junaid. And literally we were like, we're going to move to Dubai. Yeah, we're going to move to Dubai. And then in COVID, obviously, we had a cancelled wedding. So it all flopped. We lost everything. And then we obviously got pregnant with V, which is the best thing that's ever happened to me. And we were like, oh, we're going to have to put Dubai on hold for a bit. But we always did want to go, because I feel like for us as well, we are risk takers. Like, even with everything in my life, like, I've always took risks. And I feel like it's always paid off for me because I've worked hard. So I know if I take a risk, it's going to work. It's going to pay off, because I'm going to work hard and I'm going to make sure it pays off. So basically, I literally just thought to myself, right, I've had a bit of enough of this country now. I want to pick up and leave. Yeah. So obviously Vienna was only young, and we're like, right, let's spend the first birthday here and let's go. Literally, I'm not messing. My online business was, I'd say, it wasn't making a lot of money at the time. I literally went to Dubai, no words of a lie, with 1,400 quid in my ass pocket. And I was like, what the fuck am I going to do? I've got a toddler. We're going to have to pay everything. Healthcare, nursery, everything's going to have to be paid for. Rent is obviously not cheap over there, but we're going to make it work. We're going to do it. Junaid's obviously got his job. I was obviously like, I'm focusing on the coaching. Everyone around me was like, get a normal job. You've got a degree. That I was like, fuck that now. I'm not doing it. I'm staying, and I'm doing what I believe I'm going to do. And honestly, right, within a month of me being there, I was a bit like, shit, what am I going to do here? Because, you know, things weren't growing. That's when I invested in a business mentor to help me grow. It was the best decision I've ever made. It literally made me who I am now. And, you know, without that decision, I wouldn't have multiple coaches. You know, we wouldn't be able to have the best service we actually have. So that's the thing as well. I feel like for me, it was a massive risk, but I am all for taking risks. And that's why, you know, when I get on consultations with people and I can just see me in them, like an old me, of like that scared person, oh, I just don't know if this is going to work. It is literally down to someone just not believing in themselves and just taking that chance on themselves that people just aren't willing to take. People are so scared to failure. And that's as well why I think people don't actually become the best versions of themselves, because it's literally, your life is revolved around every choice that you make. Yeah. And that's the thing with me. I had that. I literally thought to myself, right, we can either move or we can wait. What's the fucking point in waiting? I want to go now. What's the point? And we've done it, and it's paid off. And I just think for me now, like, everything was a risk, but it's been a reward, because obviously it's paid off for us. So I love Dubai. Is it my forever place? Probably not now.
What do you like about Dubai?
I love the fact of, obviously, the heat. And I know this sounds so bad, but with growing up in Liverpool, it's a small place. I like the fact in Dubai, we're on the outskirts. The rent that we're paying is actually cheaper than what we'd be. Obviously, we have a house here, so we can rent that out. But the mortgage is probably around the same price. So in reality, we've done it smart. You know, we don't go out on mad nights out because it's obviously expensive. We don't do things that we know aren't in line with what we want. So I think for us, it's been all about saving, giving Vienna the best life. I love the fact it's safe for her. I love the fact you get the sun. Obviously, yeah, it's tax-free, but it's really not if you think about it, because the money that you spend there on education, healthcare, things like that.
How did, what were the things that you put in place to grow the business?
Okay, so the first thing for me to grow the business was I needed to accept that, okay, in order for me to grow, I need help from elsewhere. I'm going to need someone who I trust to help, who aligns with the business, who aligns with me, who knows about CBL, to help us grow and help be there for other females. Because obviously at the time, I think I had 50 clients. And when I say I was run down, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't make the business better either. I couldn't be constantly pumping education into it because I didn't have the time. I was a mum. I was breastfeeding. I remember getting on consultation calls and first calls with clients. I had Vienna on one boob, and I was on the call. You know what I mean? It was hard graft, and then I'd be pumping out the other boob. It was like, sorry guys, too much info. It was stressful. So I was thinking, okay, for me to build this business, I need help. But I'm one of them people, me, like, if I know it's not a right decision, I won't make it. So I was thinking, right, I know exactly who I want to ask. She's been with me since day one, but she's also having a baby, Lauren.
Yeah.
So when it comes to asking Lauren, I was like, Lauren, listen, I know you obviously become a coach. She's become a PT. At this point, I want you to be working with us in CBL. You've been with me since day one. Not even that with Lauren. The reason I wanted Lauren so much out of all the people that have come through is because I seen me and her. Like, I seen the dedication. Like, she was always someone that was so positive. Like, doing her check-ins, like, you know, it was never perfect, but I'll do this next week. Or I've learned, you know, things didn't go great this week, Lucy, but I'm gonna learn from this. And it was always like, you know what, that girl's got a drive in her that I've never seen from anybody. So I was like, you know what, I want her, and I had to wait. You know, it was quite hard because we had to wait. She had the baby. Even from when she had the baby, she was back training, back pushing, you know, wanting to make the best life for Elias. So I thought, you know what, try it on your own, see how it goes, and if not, come and work with us. And literally 2 weeks later, she was like, fuck this, I want to be back in CBL, because she loved it, and it helped her, you know, it helped her grow. And now, even just watching Lauren, right, she's worked within CBL now for a year, but she's been coach with us for about 5 years. She's come up the ranks. She knows everything about the client. She knows the client. She knows what it is that we want, what it is that we want to help women achieve, what we go through. She's done it herself. What better person could that be? And that's why I know this sounds so bad, but I'd only ever bring people from the coaching, because I want them to understand the clients, and I want my clients as well to have a good relationship with the coach. Yeah. Not even that, you know, we done our group walk yesterday, and, you know, Izzy and Lauren, it's just like, they're so relatable. You know, they've had their own fat loss journey, but again, we've all struggled with the same things, and people look at coaches like, oh my God, the coach is the better, but it's like, no, we're not, we're all the same. We're all women who've literally gone through the same things, gone through the same experiences, and we all need help of someone who is relatable. And I think as well, like, I wish I had that option when I was younger to have a relatable coach, because I think years ago when I was looking on the industry and at coaching, there wasn't no females who were relatable at that time to me.
No, I would agree with that.
I think it's hard to find relatable coaches. And as well, Katie, I think that coaches have this perception like you've got to be perfect, and that's what I hate. I'm never perfect. And you know what I always say to my girls as well, listen, I'm not going to bullshit you and be like I'm perfect every week, because I'm fucking not perfect. Yeah. You know, there's weeks where sometimes I'll miss a training session, there's weeks where sometimes I won't track, there's weeks where sometimes I'm just absolutely exhausted from life and I have a deload week, and that's absolutely okay. And I feel as well, for me, I've learned to be able to open up to my clients and tell them that, because in this day and age, you find that there's coaches that are like, are you having a roast dinner on Christmas Day? We had someone last week that come to us, right, and she said that she got bollocks for having an orange juice on Christmas Day.
Oh my God.
I was like, what are the...
But then it's you have to select a coach based on your goals. Like, at the end of the day, if you're doing a bodybuilding show and that's your be all and end all and that's what you need to do, then I'm sorry, then you might not be allowed that orange juice on Christmas Day. But if you're a lifestyle coach like you and I are, then orange juice on Christmas Day with Prosecco in it, that's what we're here for.
If you're missing that is a fucking non-negotiable. But that's the thing,
literally.
like, that's what I always say to people as well, because people are so confused on what coach fits them. And I always say this to people, like, you need to pick a coach who aligns with you. Like, at the end of the day, if you're a bodybuilder, you need to go with a bodybuilding coach. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
If you're, like, obviously my coach is a bodybuilder, but he also has off-track meals. I'm completely open with him, and honestly, he's like, that's absolutely fine. Yeah. But the thing is as well, he also teaches lifestyle coach. You know, he helps people with lifestyle.
Yeah, I literally I'm news for everyone. I'm going to get a nutritionist for the next competition. I'm happy with the body weight that I'm at the minute. I'm 2 kilos over weight I need to be at for comp, and I don't really want to cut into the comp. I want to learn a way to do it so that I can do, there's something that's started coming out in powerlifting, which is like a gut cut, which is where you basically change the macronutrients of your food, so you still have the same protein but lighter sources, you still have the same carbs but simple sources. That should hopefully shred me, but I don't really know the ins and outs of that, so I've sought help from him, and I got on the call with him and I was like, I'm going to be your worst client. I like going out for dinner 3 times at the weekend. I enjoy wine, and Monday to Friday I will be like a robot, but these few days I am going to go out for dinner and I am going to have wine. And he was like, that's fine, because that's what you do. But he's like, you've got that data. And I was like, yeah, 2 weeks from comp I might have a little bit less wine.
Yeah.
But it's because I know I need to turn the dial up then.
You
Like,
know
you have to know when to turn the dial up.
Not even that. I think as well, it's so important. Like with our coaching as well, right? Obviously, from when we started, it was just me. Now it's me, Lauren, Izzy. So we've got 2 coaches. We've got another another client, Katie, who's coming through to be another coach. We've also got Laura, who was a client and is a nutritionist. So the thing is, we've got a lot of support for females, because for us, education is everything. Even just simple things like knowing how to read food labels in a supermarket. You know, knowing how to manage your nutrition to have more energy. Like all these little things. Even just, you know, how to get through the summer with obviously a busy schedule. Like people think, oh, and you know, it's so overwhelming, the summer's coming.
Yeah, massively.
It's not as overwhelming
really not.
as what you think.
As long as you plan for it and
not
you know
even
how
that,
to
you
balance.
can pick better options. You can still do things that you want. And at the end of the day, it's not rude saying, I want to go out once a week for food. I want to go out once a week for food.
Yeah.
You know, obviously for something that's so important in our family is we go out and experience, and we want to live. You know, I don't want to go to the beach with my family and have to come home and eat a homemade meal. I want to go to the Cheesecake Factory, and that's absolutely okay. And that's the thing as well that I say, like, these are non-negotiables for me, because this is time, and this is also experiences of my daughter that I want her to remember her mum as a healthy mum, a happy mum, a fit mum, and you know, an energetic mum. But that also comes down to having that balance. And I want her to see me having a good relationship with food, eating out on the weekend with her, having them experiences.
That's really important.
Because I find as well, a lot of my female clients who've got kids, they say like, oh, my kid, you know, I've got kids and they just see me doing these shakes, or they see me so, you know, not enjoying me food, not loving my body image. You know, I'm hiding on pictures on holidays. I think I couldn't imagine nothing worse. Like,
yeah, and we spoke, and
you
I'll
know
get told
what?
off for speaking about this. Like, we spoke about it when you walk through the door. We're speaking about parents, and actually both of us are from parents where our families were Slimming World, Weight Watchers, and all of those experiences, and that's kind of created us as we are now. And you speak to so many women that say, I want to be a role model for their kids, I want to do this for my kids, I want to do that for my kids, and they're not doing fuck all about it. Like, if you want to do those things, you actually have to take action and make a change.
Not even that. I always think as well, like, what is your idea as a role model? Because I find as well, like, with being a female, it's hard enough in the world, isn't it? Like, it really, really is. Now, for me, I'm all about empowerment. Like, I want my daughter to know that her mum is strong.
Yeah.
She's independent. She is fit. And I want her to have values of like, okay, your health is a necessity.
Yeah.
Because as well, I find that like a lot of parents, they don't show the kids that health is a necessity. And it's not until they get older, then people start thinking like, oh, well, you know what? You know, at 50, I've got to go old, I've got to do this. But in reality, no, you haven't. And it's what you're doing now that is going to dictate where you're going to be.
Yourself there, like...
And you know what? People say like, oh, you know, have a day off, or you know, you don't need to be, you know, tracking your food and all this, but I'm tracking my food because I want to have that freedom and I want to have that good relationship.
For you today, for your future self.
Not even that. How are you going to... I feel like for me, creating a balance is so important within your life now, so that, you know, you can get healthy, become the best version of you, so that you are that in later life. Because I don't know about you, but I don't want to be an old person and not be
but look at it like this, Luce. Like, if you right now, your 50-year-old you is going to go through the menopause. If you weren't training, you're going to have less muscle mass.
Oh my God.
So going through the menopause with less muscle mass, you're going to gain fat easier because your body can't break down those calories as easily. Secondly, you're at risk of osteoporosis, your brittle bones. If you're weight training, you're at less risk of that. You're going to be stronger, you're going to be more capable, and you can have more longevity to your life.
Not even that, even the symptoms that you experience, perimenopausal symptoms, are hard.
Yeah.
Even just the hot
Having a
flushes.
period once a month is hard.
I know. Never mind going through that for sometimes years. Some people go through it 2-3 years. So, you know, it is hard for females. And I think, like, you know, people need to realise that the time that they've got now, they're never getting back. You can literally put years on your lifespan. And, you know, as well, something I wanted to touch on as well is that people go to the doctors, and the doctors are there not to prevent but to cure. So, like, if you're feeling depressed, ER is a depressant. If you're like,
there's not enough talk about the impacts of physical exercise,
oh my God,
good food on your mental health. Like, Derek actually said to me the other day, he was like, I was like, why are they not promoting this? He's like, because they don't want to fix it.
They don't.
They don't want to fix
They
it.
don't want to fix it. Not even that. Let's be honest, they haven't the time. Like, you go in 50 minutes on an appointment now. You say, oh, I've got sore leg.
Because you can't get a doctor's appointment, so you go with your list.
Yeah, not even that. You know, I was speaking to someone the other day and I asked them to just look at something else and they were like, you have to book another appointment.
Oh, don't.
Izzy was actually saying the other day, that she went to the doctors when she had Ava, and she was depressed. Obviously, she just had a baby, she didn't know what to do. You know, she gained a lot of weight, she was really down, and they literally gave her a leaflet and she was like, thanks for that leaflet. Like, she was like, what the fuck's a leaflet going to do for me?
Absolutely.
But again, it's all down to education, isn't it? And I think as well, though, as people, as humans, we have a responsibility to learn. Like, if you're not willing to learn, how can you improve your life? If you're not willing to do things and get out your comfort zone, how are you going to improve your life? Because
but it is
all
that
comes...
classic thing, like, if you're unhappy in yourself, you're low in confidence, you feel weak, you have low energy, like, you go to the doctors, but like you've said, the doctors aren't there to cure you. They're there to
we
do
coach
that.
doctors.
Absolutely.
We coach doctors and GPs. They ask us for help. So imagine what they're, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of doctors, and like I've got a lot of GPs as clients, and you know, some of them are overweight, some of them have PCOS. They don't know how to deal with that because, again, they're not taught how to do these things.
Look at the likes of like Davina McCall's educating on menopause.
So,
like, it says a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, when the doctors don't know, but they're getting educated by her. If you've got a problem with yourself, like, if you've got a problem with your nails, you go and see a nail specialist. If
Oh my
you've got
God,
wrinkly
I know.
forehead, you have Botox.
If you want to drive, you go and see a driving instructor, but then people find it
literally,
hard
but
to
why
think.
would you not come and have a coach?
I
Like,
know, it's crazy.
Anyway, what is next for Lucy and CBL Pro?
So I think for us now, it's just basically continuing to, obviously, you know, grow the community, help people as much as we can. I mean, even just this year alone, we've done a lot of changes. You know, we've got Lauren as nutritionist. She's doing webinars. Like, obviously, we do webinars week to week. We get everyone on. We do competitions. I mean, we've just had one of our girls, Maddie, who's lost £35. She's won 2 Taylor Swift tickets and £500 cash. But not even that for us. Like, Maddie won the competition because what the wins that she's experienced over the last 6 months. She said she had eaten disorders for 15 years. She couldn't have a snack drawer. You know, she was scared people were judging her. She was so insecure in herself and had a really bad eating disorder. She's invested 6 months into herself. She's now £35 down, but now she has a snack drawer. She goes and volunteers at events because of the fun. She would never have done that. You know, she loves meeting new people. These are the wins for us that mean so much. And that's the thing as well. People go through a fat loss journey. It's what you gain along the way that makes the journey. Yeah. And that's something we're so obsessed with, you know, is creating the community, making the community bigger, having a lot more, you know, just a lot more competitions, getting the girls involved,
I'm going to
more
pause
education.
you because we're going to cover this off in a whole extra episode, and Lucy will get lost.
Yeah, I will. So what should we end on?
You can end now if you like.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Great.
Second episode, first episode. Who knows which episode it is because we've done 3.
I might be flying back to Dubai just for a 4th episode or 5th episode.
Literally, maybe I'll fly to Dubai.
Yeah.
That would be nice around Christmas.
Well, when's the next trip? It's Ibiza, isn't it?
Yeah, we're going to Ibiza in literally like 8 days.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous.
And then we're going to my mum's in August. No, July. And then we're going to Thailand in October with clients. But I'll tell you more about that next time.
Okay, boom.
Thank you so much for listening. Save and subscribe on YouTube and Spotify, and give Lucy a follow at
Coach by Luce. Thanks, guys.